The garden party was a pastel wound on the edge of the cliffs, a bleeding of chiffon and champagne into the Pacific sunset. My sister-in-law, Giselle, had themed it coastal elegance. My 7-year-old, Chloe, in her sturdy, sand-washed sundress, was the only splash of real color in the sea of beige. "Remember, we're just here for the cake," I murmured to my husband, Silas, who was studying a topiary like it held the secrets of the universe. His uniform, worn jeans, a faded university hoodie, was a silent protest. My niece, Isabel, twirled over, a confection of tulle. "Do you like my bracelet? It's a real sapphire. Daddy says it's an investment piece." She thrust her tiny wrist at Chloe, who instinctively closed her hand over her own bare one, adorned only with a hand-painted friendship string from a schoolmate. "It's very blue," Chloe said, her diplomacy breaking my heart. The air was thick with the scent of hired jasmine and discreet ambition. Giselle held court by the infinity pool, her laughter a sharp, calibrated tool. My brother, Felix, was deep in conversation with a man whose watch probably powered a small satellite.
"Ah, Elena.
You made it." Giselle's embrace was a brief, perfumed containment field. "And you brought the children. How earthy." Her eyes performed a lightning cost appraisal of our family. "The caterers have set up a little table near the kitchens. More space for them to be free." "We're fine here," Silas said, his voice a low, pleasant rumble that somehow carried over the string quartet. Dinner was served on plates so thin I feared they'd dissolve. We were nestled between a monumental floral arrangement and a server's station. The conversation down table was a currency exchange of market talk and name-dropped resorts. "Still running that little nonprofit bookshop, Elena?" Felix called, a benign smile on his face. "We call it a community library now," I said. "We just secured funding for a literacy van." "How quaint," Giselle sighed. "A mobile project. For the underserved." She said it like a rare disease. The fracture happened when Chloe returned from the children's pavilion, a tear tracing a clean path through the dust of earlier play. She burrowed into my side. "Isabel said our car smells like old dog," she whispered, a tremor in her voice. "She said we're charity cases and that daddy dresses like a landscaper." Giselle materialized, a clutch of her friends in orbit. "Tears? Oh, darling, what's wrong? Did the other children not understand your game?" Her sympathy was a weapon. "They were cruel," I stated, holding Chloe tighter. "Children mirror their environment, don't they?" Giselle's smile was glacial. "They simply notice contrasts. It's a learning opportunity. Perhaps next time, a more aligned setting would be better. A picnic at the public gardens, maybe?" A titter rippled through her cohort. One murmured, "It's about context." Silas, who had been silently watching a kestrel circle over the cliffs, finally moved. He didn't shout. He pulled his ancient, cracked phone from his pocket and dialed. "Miriam. It's Silas." "Yes, I'm looking at it right now. Initiate the Eagles Perch Review. Full title and easement history. And connect me to the Coastal Commission liaison. I want the original usage covenants for the entire bluff." He paused, his eyes on Felix.
"Yes."
"Parcel number 045-778-001. The one with the new pool and retaining wall." The kestrel cried. The quartet faltered. "This bluff," Silas said, turning to face the party, his voice as calm as the deep water beyond the cliffs. "Eagles Perch. A protected coastal ecological zone. The development permit for any structure over 800 square feet requires a direct beneficiary sign-off from the primary land trust." Felix's smile tightened. "Our architect handled all that. Took years. Cost a fortune in legal fees." "I know," Silas said. "Your lawyers negotiated with the Stonehaven Trust."
"I'm Silas Stonehaven."
"My grandmother's name. I'm the sole trustee and beneficiary." The ice in Giselle's glass audibly shifted. Silas pulled up an image on his phone, zooming in on a dense legal paragraph.
"Covenant 12b.
The trustee retains ultimate right of review for any modification impacting visual integrity or ecological balance. Your unpermitted pool cabana? The terraced garden that disrupted the native bluff scrub. He looked at them. That's a violation. The trust can demand restoration to natural state. This is our dream home. Giselle gasped, color draining. It's a conditional lease from the land, held in my family's trust for 3 generations, Silas corrected. You own the building, Felix. But the land it sits on, the very ground of your coastal elegance. You're borrowing it. From me. And you've been poor stewards. He knelt before Chloe. The land our library then travels? We own that too. Every park where we've had our picnics. The real value isn't in sitting on beauty and locking others out, kid. It's in making sure everyone gets to see it. He stood, addressing my brother. You have 30 days to submit a full environmental impact mitigation plan for the violations. The trust will approve or deny. Failure to comply means the trust repossesses the land beneath your feet. You can keep the house. You'll just have to move it. The silence was broken only by the wind and the distant crash of waves. We walked out, past the frozen tableaus of shock, toward our faithful, dog-scented car. Daddy, Chloe asked, buckling in, if we own the pretty cliff, why do we live in the town with the loud trains? Silas started the engine, a deep warmth returning to his eyes. Because the trains take people to work, to hospitals, to their families. And our backyard has the best climbing tree on the block. Better than an infinity pool? She asked. Infinity is overrated, he winked. Our tree has a tire swing. That's a real investment piece. As we drove away from the gilded cage on the cliff, I watched it shrink in the rearview, not with schadenfreude, but with a profound, settled peace. They'd measured us by everything we lacked. They never understood we held the deed to the horizon itself.